Welcome, Slayer the Alchemist, where we discuss all things heavy metal and hard rock. On today's episode, my 5 favorite fast Metallica songs. Try to say that fast 5 times in a row. I do a podcast with author Martin Popoff called AC/DC podcast called Kicked Into Teeth, an AC/DC podcast. Check that out on all the streaming services. And we did an episode of our 10 favorite fast AC/DC songs, and it was a lot of fun. And I thought, let me do this with a band that's kind of known for playing fast music, at least earlier in their and later in their career, not so much in the middle phase. So I thought it would be fun to do this with Metallica. So I picked 5. These are in order from number 1 is my favorite out of all these. All right, number 5 from Hardwired to Self-Destruct, the song Hardwired, the opening track. Just comes out swinging. I love James here spitting venom. We're so effed up, S out of luck. That's just great. I love when he shouts. There's this little break, a little 1-second break. Go! He just yells go, and then everything stops. Go! And the riff comes back in. Man, it's really aggressive. The solo is totally over the top and totally crazy, and it's kind of cool. Death Magnetic was kind of like a return to form sort of album for Metallica, and some people don't like the last so many Metallica records. But I think there's a lot of great stuff on there, and stuff like this, Hardwired, man, just shows that they can still play really aggressively. I mean, James is spitting out the lyrics here. The riffs are just great. All right, number 4, it's the last song on And Justice for All, and that's Dyer's Eve. It starts off pretty straightforward, and then there's that long kind of drum fill where it feels like it's slowing down, and you're expecting them to go into maybe a heavy, slow, doomy type riff, but it doesn't happen. This ripping fast lick just comes out and hits you. The production on this album, although I think it hurts it at other times, here it actually works. It's really dry, robotic, in-your-face production, just basically guitar and drums and vocals. It really works with this super fast stuff. The fast double bass playing under the verse is great. And James here just proving, man, he has the fastest right hand in the West. Some of these licks, man, they're so tight and they're so fast. It's just great. All right, number 3 for me from their second album, Fight Fire with Fire. The classical intro sort of sets you up here. It's very melodic and laid back, and the acoustic guitars and everything. Then all of a sudden, and that riff kicks in. It's fantastic. I love it. And there's a lot of I'd say faster stuff on Ride the Lightning. I could have picked some other things on here, but I just like that contrast with the intro and James barking out these lyrics. And I like the way in the chorus, fight fire with fire. There's this super fast, the way it does that is really cool. And I love, again, I've started to notice that he does this a lot in their fast songs. There's that break, we all shall die. he says that, and I just love that part. All right, number 2 for me, Whiplash. This one is from the first album. Intro with quick guitar hits, and then that tribal drum thing sort of underneath it with the hanging chords over the top. And I love the way the one guitar comes in, and it's like in the one speaker, and then the second guitar comes in, doubling it, and it's just like, yeah, man, that is really cool. I've always loved the guitar sound on the first Metallica record. It's very simple. It just sounds like a cranked Marshall, but I've always loved the guitar sound on the first record. Very old school metal. Great old school thrash vibe to the lyrics, singing about thrashing out and metal. I love the line, "We'll never stop because we're Metallica." That's just great. And this is another one where it breaks and it's just drums, whiplash, and he sort of shouts that out over the drums. And that halftime riff after the second chorus is very, very cool. All right, number 1 for me. And this one really isn't the fastest out of all these groups. And I think I put this one here because when I discovered Metallica, I had the first record. I didn't get Ride the Lightning, and I got Master of Puppets. And then I went back and got Ride the Lightning. It seems strange, but back then when you're releasing an album every year, it's easy to understand how you could miss one. But this one, I just remember hearing this song and thinking like, this is so crazy, this is so over the top. And that's the last song on Master of Puppets, Damage Incorporated, Damage Inc. Those haunting guitar swells at the beginning, and then that main riff just comes in, and it is just punishing. It's fast, it's crushing. I love James' lyrics, especially that line, is it slashing through? I wrote slamming through. I thought it was slashing through. Slashing through, don't F with razor back. I love that. I love that line there. Another one where the chorus is kind of, have you noticed he's done this a lot already? I love that whispered chorus. Damage Incorporated. Another break too here. This is sort of a theme with their fast songs. And I just think that's so cool that the song is so over the top, so bumbling. And then the chorus is just whispered, Damage Incorporated, fantastic. Over the top guitar solo, and the way the song ends, it kind of ends kind of suddenly. And I just remember hearing that and being like, wow, I've never heard anything like this before. I hadn't discovered Slayer yet at this point. But, so yeah, Damage Incorporated, number one. So number one, Damage Incorporated, 2, Whiplash, 3, Fight Fire with Fire, 4, Dyer's Eve, and 5, Hardwired. All right, let me know what you think of my picks. What are your favorite fast Metallica songs? Let me know in the comments down below. Hit like and subscribe till we see you again. Make sure you stay metal.